Using Ahrefs, techniques for B2B SEO wins. Why B2B teams should treat Ahrefs like a revenue tool. If your team is doing everything right with outbound, clean lists, solid sequences, consistent dials, but pipeline still feels streaky, it's usually because you're missing the moment buyers self-educate. Roughly 71% of B2B buyers start their research with a Google search, and about 85% trust organic results more than paid ads. In plain terms, prospects are forming shortlists before an SDR ever sends a first email. That's exactly why we don't view SEO as a marketing channel at SalesHive. It's a pipeline channel that can stabilize revenue when outbound timing is tough. When organic visibility is strong, your cold calling services and cold email agency efforts land on warmer accounts because prospects have already seen your POV, your comparisons, or your category pages. Ahrefs is one of the few platforms that can connect those dots across the whole market. What your ICP searches, which competitors capture demand, and which pages are positioned to turn traffic into demos. The win is not checking rankings. The win is building repeatable workflows that turn SEO insights into booked meetings for your SDR agency motion and your AEs. The business case. SEO feeds most funnels, and first-page visibility is everything. Across industries, organic search drives roughly 53.3% of trackable website traffic, which is why B2B SEO can't be treated like a side project. If your category has any meaningful search demand, your site is either participating in that traffic flow or watching it go to competitors, regardless of how strong your outbound sales agency playbook is. Visibility compounds because clicks are extremely concentrated. About 96.98% of clicks happen on page 1 of Google. Pair that with long buying cycles and big buying committees, often 10 to 11 stakeholders over roughly 11.5 months, and being discoverable becomes a persistent advantage, not a nice-to-have. Ahrefs matters here because it gives you an outside-in view of the market. Competitor pages that pull demand, link profiles that explain why they outrank you, and keyword sets that map to buying stages. That perspective is hard to replicate in tools that only report on your own site, and it's what lets a B2B sales agency align content priorities with the deals you actually want. Revenue keyword research in Ahrefs. Prioritize intent over volume. The most common mistake we see is chasing high-volume keywords that don't translate to pipeline. In Ahrefs Keywords Explorer, start with the language your prospects use on calls, objections, pains, and why now triggers, and expand from there using phrase and broad matches. This simple change prevents you from building content that earns traffic but never earns meetings. From there, filter for commercial context and winnability. Use modifiers like software, platform, services, pricing, alternatives, for industry, and compare. Then narrow down with intent signals so you're not mixing early research with late-stage buying. When you pair intent with realistic difficulty, including tactics like targeting lower authority SERPs, Ahrefs becomes a prioritization engine instead of a keyword dump. Finally, force a revenue conversation by scoring business potential before you write anything. If the keyword can naturally lead to a demo request, a product-led CTA, or a direct handoff to your outsourced sales team, it moves up the queue. If it can't, keep it in the awareness bucket and don't let it cannibalize time you could spend on pages that support B2B cold calling services, sales outsourcing, or high-intent inbound conversions. Competitor teardown. Use Site Explorer to find the pages that actually create pipeline. When a competitor shows up everywhere, It's usually not magic, it's repeatable page types. In Site Explorer, focus on top pages and sort by organic traffic. Then scan for patterns like comparisons, industry landing pages, integration pages, and pricing-adjacent content. Those are typically the URLs that intercept late-stage queries and funnel visitors into sales conversations. Next, use Content Gap to quantify what you're missing instead of guessing. Add 2 or 3 competitors, compare against your domain, and isolate keywords where they rank in the top results and you don't rank at all.
This is where you'll find the table stakes terms, especially alternatives, pricing, and category comparisons that can turn into bottom funnel pages and assets your SDR agency can reference in outreach. A second common mistake is creating new content when the real fix is internal alignment. Weak internal linking, unclear CTAs, and content that doesn't route people to the right next step. As you identify competitor winners, map each target keyword to a single best page on your site, or plan one, then reinforce it with internal links from relevant posts. This is one of the fastest ways to lift rankings without adding headcount. Ahrefs doesn't just tell you what's ranking. It tells you what your buyers are trying to accomplish and which pages you need to own to earn the conversation. Turn Ahrefs insights into SDR messaging that books more meetings. Most teams separate SEO work from sales work, and that's where they leave money on the table. Your top pages and top keywords reports are essentially a live feed of what your market cares about. Phrases your prospects already trust enough to search. If you give that language to your cold callers and email writers, you reduce the guesswork in talk tracks, subject lines, and objection handling. We like to operationalize this as a monthly handoff. Marketing shares the best performing pages by conversion intent, plus a short list of the exact pain-first keywords that are climbing. Sales leadership then updates sequences, call openers, and follow-ups to mirror those pains, especially for accounts your B2B sales agency team is already targeting. Done well, your content becomes air cover for outbound, not a separate program. This also improves targeting for sales outsourcing and list-building services. When Ahrefs shows which verticals search your category most aggressively, you can shape ABM plays around those problems, refine titles and departments, and build tighter segments for LinkedIn outreach services. The result is simple: more relevant outreach, higher reply rates, and better meeting quality, whether you hire SDRs in-house or use an outsourced sales team. Protect performance. Technical SEO issues quietly kill conversion rate. Content and links get the attention, but technical health is what keeps wins from evaporating. Ahrefs Site Audit is valuable because it surfaces issues that directly impact both rankings and buyer trust. Broken internal links, redirect chains, slow templates, duplicate titles, and indexability problems. In B2B, where decision makers are skeptical by default, even small UX and crawl issues can reduce demo conversion rates. A mistake we see often is treating audits as a one-time spring cleaning instead of a continuous practice. Run recurring crawls, keep a short backlog of fixes, and prioritize items that affect money pages first: pricing, product, comparison, and high-intent landing pages. If your technical base is unstable, you'll feel it as choppy organic performance, which forces your cold calling agency motion to work harder than it should. Rank Tracker closes the loop by showing whether fixes and content changes are actually moving the keywords that matter. Track a focused set of revenue terms, not thousands of vanity phrases, and review movement against competitor domains. When you tie those movements to CRM outcomes, demos, SQLs, and opportunities, you make SEO legible to revenue leaders and easier to fund. Modern SERPs win clicks even with AI overviews and zero-click results.
AI overviews and richer SERP features have changed how clicks distribute, but they haven't eliminated SEO as a pipeline channel. The practical shift is that you should be more selective about where you compete and more deliberate about how you structure answers. Ahrefs helps by letting you spot which queries are dominated by SERP features and which still produce strong organic opportunity. A common pitfall is responding to zero-click fear by abandoning informational content entirely. In B2B, early-stage content still matters because buyers revisit sources across long cycles and share them internally with those 10 to 11 stakeholders. The move is to write with intent, include crisp definitions, clear comparisons, and next-step CTAs that pull the right visitors into higher-intent pages and sales conversations. This is also where outbound and inbound can reinforce each other. If a prospect gets a quick answer from a SERP feature, your follow-up email can still land if it references the same pain and offers a deeper asset, template, checklist, calculator that's truly useful. For teams running cold email agency programs, this search-aligned messaging is one of the cleanest ways to sound relevant without sounding creepy. Next steps, a simple operating rhythm that connects Ahrefs to pipeline. To measure ROI, you need a revenue trail. Tag organic sourced leads in your CRM, define what counts as an organic demo or SQL, and review performance alongside rankings. This is how you validate whether you're trending toward benchmarks like 702% ROI and a town's 7-month break-even, rather than arguing about traffic quality with no shared definition. Operationally, keep it tight. Quarterly content reviews for your top value pages, faster refreshes for anything that's slipping, and consistent internal linking to your core conversion pages. The goal isn't to publish endlessly. It's to build a set of pages that reliably win page 1 visibility, where 96.98% of clicks happen, and route visitors into the right sales motion. If you don't have the bandwidth to run this end-to-end, pair the data with execution. At SalesHive, we use tools like Ahrefs to identify the exact pains prospects are Googling, then translate them into targeting, list building, and outreach angles across our cold calling team and email programs. That combination, search intelligence plus consistent outbound, is how B2B teams turn SEO from rankings into a reliable meeting engine.